Staying at home with her baby girl, the actress lacked the support of her husband, Ryan Felipe.
I was a new mom, and I was broke.
And a few years later, a new blow came. While Reese was making a name for herself, Ryan became jealous of her growing success.
You make more than I do. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, peeps? I'm Cheryl, and I'm coming to you again with our latest video. Now, before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Big Animal. Thank you, Big Animal, for being such a loyal viewer. We greatly appreciate you. Big Animal is one of our male viewers, and as requested in the last video, he gave us a couple of suggestions that he would like to hear covered on this video release that's in our Finance and Marriage series. Now, we chose the suggestion regarding the wife making most or the entire bag for the family and how that affects the marriage. Now, if you didn't catch the first video in the series, it's entitled Financial and Emotional Needs in a Marriage. After you leave your comment for this video, be sure to go back and check it out. Okay, let's get right into it. Guys, this one is touchy because it involves egos. We all know and can understand how the majority of men feel on the subject. I think that for most men today, they wouldn't normally have a problem with their woman making more money than them if the attitude didn't come along with it. If we're honest, some of us women do bring attitude when we're financially stable in our own right, and that's justifiable. But with both males and females, some have the tendency to believe that money is the authority in the family. So the unspoken rule for some is usually whoever contributes the most money is indeed the one in charge, so to speak. Ladies, let's give the guys our honest feelings on this situation now. If you believe that bringing more money to the table earns you the right to make the final decision for the family as to how the money is to be spent, please leave a comment to that effect and explain to us why you feel that way. Many men agree that it's that particular line of thinking from a woman that causes them to react negatively when a wife makes more than a husband does. And we as women are quick to judge them for having those negative feelings, but we should think about the why. Why is it that they feel the way they do? How have they been brought up? How have they been raised and taught by their fathers? Well, most young men with fathers who are present in their life now, they're being taught that it's their job as a man to provide for their family, as the family head. So naturally for men, it poses a problem when their wife is the breadwinner because the husband may feel that they're not doing what they've been taught that they should be doing. And it doesn't help when the wife starts to encroach on the role as head of the family. How is it that a wife encroaches on the husband's role? Well, there are instances where a husband will learn of something his wife desires, and he may plan to surprise her with it later, since he may not be able to get it right away because he doesn't make as much money as she does. But if the wife, just because she can afford it, since she makes more money, if she decides to make the purchase for herself, how would that make the husband feel? Especially if she's doing it on a regular. If the wife continues to do everything for herself without ever waiting for her husband to do so, the husband will begin to feel that she doesn't need him. As far as he's concerned, that's what her actions have been showing him all the while. So ladies, sometimes we need to be less impulsive in buying things for ourselves. And we should allow our husbands to do that for us on occasions. I know in my marriage, it really makes my husband's day when he surprises me with something he knows I expressed interest in. And trust me, it makes my day too. But check this out. Also, as women, what is it that we expect? Yep, we also expect the man to be the breadwinner. Am I right? And why do we expect that? Because again, just like it is with the males, that's how we were brought up, how we were raised. Our mothers taught us to make sure that we get a man who's able to provide for us financially. And she tells us that because she knows that money is one of the leading causes for failed marriages, and she doesn't want that for us. So the question arises, crazy right here. If men expect to be the breadwinner and women expect the men to be the breadwinner, why in the world is there a problem? Because we both expect the same thing, right? So I wanted to hear from one of our viewers. So check out part of the interview that I had with one of our anonymous female viewers. Listen to her thoughts on the subject to see if it mirrors your thoughts in some ways. Well, hey, how you doing, young lady?
I'm fine.
That's great. I'm glad you're joining me today. Can I get your thoughts on finances in marriage?
Finances is a big part of marriage. Really, it's a big part of life. Heck, you need finances basically to do everything, anything.
Yeah, that's true.
You need it to buy food. You need it to pay your bills. You need it to take care of your children, your grandchildren, your husband.
I know
your
that's
neighbors,
right,
your
huh?
cousins, begging cousins who call you when they want something. I mean,
That's
finances
true.
is very important.
How long have you been married?
Let me see. 15, 16, 17, 18. This year in October to be 7 years.
Okay, nice long one, huh? I'm glad to hear that.
I should have divorced in the first year, but yeah. Yeah, but 7 years, 7 years.
Yeah, that's great because we hear a lot of marriages not working, and unfortunately, a lot of times that's because of finances too.
Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. Because finances is stressful.
Too.
Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. Because finances is stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, and far as me, I have always been like this. A person, I can manage my finances. I have to pay my bills first and whatever left. Then that's when we do extra things. But then you got a spouse that's not like that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's, more like, okay, well, I'm getting paid. I'm going to go buy such and such. No, dude, the bills got to be paid. Which part you don't get?
Yeah, that's good. Take care of what needs to be taken care of first. Well, since we're talking about money, let me ask you this. Who brings home the majority of the bacon in your house?
My husband did.
Okay, has it always been that way?
No.
So the time you were bringing home most of the bacon, what was that like? Did things remain the same, or were there any issues that occurred?
No, things remain the same. I mean, because I'm the same way. Whoever bringing the bacon home, bills still got to be paid.
Right, but he didn't. You didn't see any changes in him or anything.
Nah, that dude don't care. He don't care. Trust me, that don't bother him none.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, nah.
That's how you want it. Well, I'll tell you this. Why do you think it becomes an issue with some men when their wife brings home the bacon?
I think it's prideful. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And then some men, they worry about what other people say. So it's, oh man, your lady, man, your wife make more than you. When she wear the pants, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That male ego, right?
That ego, you see what I'm saying? Come on now. If he gets sick, the wife gonna have to bring all the bacon home anyway, because she gotta pay still, the bills still gotta be paid. Then she gotta take care of him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So it shouldn't matter, but in some cases it do matter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you on that.
Like, for instance, Bobby Brown. You know, Whitney always made more money than Bobby Brown. That's why she had to boost his ego. You see what I'm saying? Because he was the type of man worrying about what people say. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, talk about king of pop. Girl, you ain't no king of pop. Stop that. But that was her husband, and she had to stroke his ego. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But it is what
Right, that's true.
Like, for instance, Louis got sick. You see what I'm saying? And I had to work overtime and pay bills. Bills still had to get paid. I wish he had got sick, but he got sick, and I had to work.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, well, I think that's really good that your husband is that way. You know, don't trip over you making more money than he makes.
Oh, please. Try that dude to say, then you got $40, you got $50. Then dude don't care.
Pride is not an issue with him, huh?
Trust me, none. If you give him, he asks you, see, you got $50. So, as a wife, you gotta also think, you don't put that type of strain on your marriage. Okay, I know you make the more money, but still. But yeah, you just gotta,
And that's what my point was too. Because I think more men would be as your husband is, where they would care less who makes the money, as long as that attitude doesn't come with it. Like you just mentioned about your friend or your coworker, whichever one it was. When a woman starts acting like they have to be the one to make the decisions just because they make more money. Yes, they have to realize that the man is still head of the household.
That's
it. Well, you know what? I sure do appreciate you sitting down with me and letting us into your marriage a little bit. But thank you so much for allowing that, okay?
Yes, ma'am, when I win.
Let me think on that and I'll let you know, okay?
All right.
So there you have it. We see that there are some men out there who don't have a problem with their wife making most of the bag. But as for those who do have an issue with it, our anonymous viewer hit it on the nail on the head as to one of the reasons why that's so. And that's the pressure they receive from their peers. That pressure is a powerful thing. Men want to be validated by their friends, as I think many of us do. So when his friends get wind of the fact that his wife makes most of the family funds, and they start warning him that the wife is going to try and take the lead or going to try and wear the pants, as they say, though he may disagree with their remarks, the husband may still affect how he deals with his wife moving forward. It's like there'll be a spotlight shining on his wife. He'll start analyzing everything about her behavior, her attitude, her words, her purchases, and so on, until eventually it starts sparking arguments about money and other things. Now, there's one other thing that I believe contributes to the issue, and that's an inflated ego. Both the wives and the husbands, because, well, allow me to explain what I'm talking about. At the start of the marriage, you might have both the husband and the wife with jobs that, pay enough to suffice the family's material needs. As they begin to grow their family, having kids and so forth, the wife may suggest that they aim for, promotions to do better for themselves, to ensure that they're able to maintain the lifestyle they have despite having children. Now, though the husband, as the lead, may decide that it's best that they stay where they are financially, the wife might begin to work towards that goal she wanted to work towards. And eventually, what do you have? An unbalanced lifestyle. That becomes an issue because the wife will start to use the family funds in a way that her husband doesn't approve. She may put money aside for education for the children. She may make big purchases for herself, big purchases for her children, and so on. Doing so because she knows that they're able to afford it since her income has increased. But the husband, because he, as head of household, can't afford it with the income he has, he doesn't approve of the purchases. So once again, you have marital issues springing from ego. How a person is brought up and the influence they get from their peers, that shapes how a person feel about themselves, thus their ego. So when they feel that when the husband feels that his wife has put him in a position that he can't change, he becomes offended and eventually he retaliates. And he does so by trying to make her feel the same way he feels. So he becomes absent in the marriage. He starts making moves that benefit him alone and not the family. So, ladies, it may be wise that we as wives keep in mind the model of a family. And that's the man and the woman comes together as one, with the husband as the head of the family who takes into consideration his wife's thoughts and feelings as he heads the family. Well, that's it for now until the next video in the series is uploaded. And remember, if there's an aspect you'd like to hear about or for us to cover, let us know in the comment area. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to click the notification bell and the subscribe button. Now, we pass the mic to you.